Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, all right.
All right.
I'm
What you
Sarah.
got your hand on there?
What?
What you got your hand on there?
Oh, this is the Acrylic 65.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm Sarah, I'm here at Garrett Paint, and we're going to talk about our Acrylic 65,
All right.
which is a superior Cadillac of acrylics, right? It's
It
like
is.
liquid gold.
Yep.
And why do I say that? Because it is so high in resin, i.e. solids. So the solid content is the highest you can find on the market, and it does all kinds of great things because of that.
It is true.
Back in the day, Art Guerra, when he started this business in the 80s, he was frustrated with the quality of paint. So he set about trying to find the best possible paint components, and he landed on this Acrylic 65. So we've been selling it since the 80s, and it's super popular. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it. Well, here's a little sample of how it dries. Super high solids make super high gloss.
It is a beautiful acrylic.
Yeah, and it really holds its shape. It doesn't have much shrinkage because there's very little water.
Right.
It dries very quickly because there's very little water.
Right.
Again, glossy, holds the stroke, holds peaks, super flexible, super durable.
Looks like oil.
Does all the things. Looks like oil. And let's see, here's a dried sample. Dries super clear. So this is like all-purpose acrylic. You can use it by itself just as an adhesive. It's like super glue. It's amazing.
Right.
You can thicken it way up. This is with thickener added. So you can make a gel and you can use it clear. Or you can add your pigment concentrate to it, which we're going to do in a minute. This is a dispersion. This is what we specialize in, what we have up here, all our different liquid pigment concentrates, single pigments. And, the other thing it can do, because it's so super strong, is hold a bunch of texture. So you can load up your acrylic with a whole bunch of dry fillers, which we also sell. Here's some pumice rocks. These are glass beads, super heavy. And you don't see the acrylic, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't look like a glass bead gel or a pumice gel. It looks like just solid texture.
So just higher resin, it's either going to be super glossy or it's going to be a really good glue.
It can be super matte, yeah.
Right,
So you can just, because it's so high in resin, you don't have to use much. So you can just use it as the binder that's going to hold your texture. And it doesn't look glossy. It just looks textural.
Right. And, yeah, it's high resin.
So we sell it in 8 ounces, quarts, gallons, or you can even get a 5-gallon bucket if you want, or multiple 5-gallon buckets, as some people do.
Right.
And it's just great stuff. So I'm going to demo it for you now. I'm going to use this quart, which is already partially used.
So you could buy up to 55 gallons or more if you wanted.
You could buy so much.
Right.
Yeah, we have drums and drums of this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make a full, because I kind of want to do a price comparison thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a full 16 ounces of paint right now.
Okay.
So this is the viscosity coming out of the bottle. Pretty thick. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is. It's a beautiful glossy acrylic.
Now I'm going to take my pigment concentrate.
Now, importantly, it's non-yellowing.
Non-yellowing, that's right.
Yeah, that's
Totally
very
archival.
I was meaning to say that earlier, but...
Okay, we shake up our dispersion because there's no fillers in here, no additives to keep it suspended. We like to keep it pure so it just settles a little bit. So you want to shake, 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 shake. Then, because we're doing a price comparison thing, I'm going to take this whole 1 ounce and add it. Whoa! Going crazy!
My God!
My God!
Okay, so...
That's pigment concentrate. And you can always put some more fluid acrylic in there and shake it up to get your residue out.
Fluid, we don't sell
Okay.
fluid, yeah.
Well, you can make, well, that's the other thing I didn't say, right? Because this acrylic is so high in resin, you can water this down a whole bunch if you want and make a fluid acrylic or a synthetic watercolor or what have you.
Yep. Or you can make it a super awesome glue.
We also sell this acrylic 65 as acrylic 60, which has no thickener in it, so it's already fluid. So if you want high resin that's not watered down, we got that for you too.
It's more like the airbrush medium kind of.
Okay, so
viscosity.
this is
a lot of paint.
I'm using my little rubber spatula here because this is like cooking, and this is a nice tool. So I just have to get this thoroughly mixed in, which is a little challenging because I have so much in my container right now, but I wanted to make a full 16 ounce so we can do like a cost comparison thing.
Or you want-
This
I think
is
you
like
did.
way saturated. I probably
Right.
didn't even need to use the full 1 ounce.
You didn't.
I did not. No, this is insane.
Right. Well, that's very strong.
It's very strong. Yeah.
The
So
whole-
we
the
just
whole-
made
yeah.
16 ounces of Pyrrole Red for, I already did the math, this is 30% less than what it costs for your top brand at the discount price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
So you save a lot of money and you get super crazy saturated paint
Look at
because
that.
you're controlling the saturation yourself
Right.
by adding the pigment yourself. Now, because that has gotten a little bit more fluid, I'm going to add thickener to it in a second.
okay.
First, we're going to just paint it out
Paint it out.
because the liquid nature of the dispersion made this a little bit more fluid. But look how nice and saturated that is. The 1 ounce, that's how strong it is, made 16 ounces of paint.
Yep. So that's your Pigment Red 254. Your
Yep.
Pyro Red BO.
Now, because this is so full, I'm going to put some in here to thicken it.
Sounds good.
Okay. We'll do about that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take my thickener. We have this rheology modifier. And we're going to add a little dose in there. It's like 1 to 3%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1 to 3.
And I'm going to thicken it up. That has a pH reaction with the ammonia and the
It's a
acrylic.
pH shift that makes it, wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. And I continue to go for about 30 seconds to make sure it's done thickening.
Yeah.
But you can see, super thick.
That's a beautiful paint.
Yeah. So I'm going to put some down on my...
There's the peaks.
There's the peaks. Yep, so this is super high resin that's going to stay right where I put it and not shrink a whole bunch on me.
Little to none.
Little to none.
Yep.
I'm going to put my brush through it.
Okay. And what? That really just looks like a really nice paint.
It sure is. Look at that.
Really,
So that
really beautiful.
is going to dry much like this, but of
Well,
course
that's-
it'll be Pyrrole instead of quinacridone rose
Yeah,
red.
Quinn Rose Red, Pyro Red, but
Now the other thing I want to do is just show the thickener number 2,
okay.
which is a different thickener.
It's like
And that's
making
going to make it,
tar gel, right?
yeah, a little more like tar gel, a little sticky.
Okay. And that's a thickener too,
That's the thickener 2.
which is technically a urethane dispersion.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So that made it like tarry.
That does make it tarry. Oof.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm kind of out of space on my paper, but I'm going to put it down here. So yeah, these are all just cool things you can do with this super duper uber acrylic 65. And I think that's it for today.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that was a great demonstration.
Thank you.
And I feel like I'm walking away from this with more knowledge of Gera paint.
Oh, great. I'm so glad. That was the intention.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
All right, thanks for your time.
Okay.
All right, have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.